Hello, hello, and good afternoon or good evening, wherever you are in this world. We are happy to have you here. My name is Jay, and I am your StriveScan facilitator for this evening. We have got some amazing schools here to learn about, so let me just welcome you to the Western Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. I've got a couple of housekeeping items before we get started here, and then I will pass it along to our great schools and presenters. So, first off, you can use the QA button that you should be able to see on your screen to ask questions to our presenters at any time. After their presentation, they'll have a little bit of time to go ahead and answer your questions. And of course, you'll be able to get their contact information for additional follow-up. Don't worry, your camera and video are off, so none of us can see or hear you. And then this is just one of many sessions. So you'll be able to register for additional sessions coming on up within the next days, weeks, and months. This presentation is being recorded. So within about 1 week, if you missed anything or want to go back and follow up because you heard something wrong, you can find it at www.strivescan.com/WACAC. Now I'm going to stop presenting now and turn it over to our first presenter of the evening in our first school with Mississippi State University. Go ahead and take it away.
Perfect. Let me share my screen. Okay, you guys should be able to see that. Well, first and foremost, welcome. Thank you for joining us this afternoon as we just take all the time to learn a little bit about all the different opportunities that you have at all of these different institutions. My name is Grant Nairn. I am one of the assistant directors for out-of-state recruitment here at Mississippi State University. This is my 6th year with the university, and I work with all students that are out of state looking at their opportunities here at Mississippi State. So I'm excited to be here with you guys this afternoon. So if you're kind of wondering where Mississippi State is located, we are located in Starkville, Mississippi. It is about 2 hours north of our capital of Jackson, Mississippi, 3 hours south of Memphis, Tennessee, and 2 hours west of Birmingham, Alabama. So it is very much a small college town, but it is a top 25 college town. There's a lot to do, a lot of opportunities to get involved. So just to give you some background information, we were founded in 1878 as Mississippi A&M. Standing for agricultural and mechanics. So our pillars and our strong suits and our missions kind of all started with agricultural and engineering. Since then, we've acquired a lot of different majors and opportunities for students. We'll hit on some of those here in just a little bit, with over 180 different majors offering to students. We do have about 23,000 students on our campus, and we still have a 17-to-1 student faculty ratio. So you still get the big feeling of being a part of something big like the Southeastern Conference, but then you also get that small, intimate learning environment in which we all thrive. We also have about 4,200 acres of campus. That is not just our main campus, that is also our research facilities, because we are a Tier 1 top 100 research institution. So we provide those opportunities for research and hands-on research for undergraduate students starting their freshman year on campus. So as I mentioned a little bit ago, we were founded in agricultural and engineering. Since then, we've acquired a lot of different majors. They are broken up into different academic colleges. You can see those different academic colleges on your screen. And just to kind of hit on a few of those, I'll hit on the different majors, but also some of the research opportunities encompassed in some of those. First, we have our College of Ag and Life Sciences. So this has a lot of different opportunities, obviously within agriculture and the life science component, which is like biochemistry, fashion design and merchandising, and a lot of other different opportunities. Some of the research that they're very proud of here within this academic college is partnering with USDA. And basically they are working and for 20 years, we've been ranked in the top 5% for agricultural and natural resources research. And they're doing a lot of research to help eradicate food hunger and poverty and enhance food quality. So don't know about you guys, but I like to eat and I want to make sure what I'm eating, is great. So we definitely want to make sure that this academic college continues on that path. Next, we have our College of Architecture, Art, and Design. We are actually the only accredited school of architecture here in the state of Mississippi. It is a 5-year program. Any of these programs, architecture, graphic design, ceramics, anything of that nature, it is actually all studio based. So you come in your freshman year and you set up your workstation, and it is yours for the next 4 to 5 years. Our College of Arts and Sciences is by far the most eclectic academic college. It has pretty much anything that ends in ology. But in addition to that, one of our famous ones is meteorology. 1 in every 3 meteorologists in the nation actually have their certification from Mississippi State. If they get the weather wrong, they obviously went somewhere else. I'm just kidding. But in addition to that, we also have our College of Business. Biggest thing there is our entrepreneurship and international business programs. Pretty cool opportunities for students to get some hands-on opportunities there. College of Education. So if you're interested in primary music, special, or secondary education, we definitely encourage you to come check us out. And then, as I mentioned earlier, our College of Engineering, we have a plethora of options, with basically a lot of emphasis on co-op and internships, and we definitely want to make sure that you take opportunities for that with a 93% placement rate amongst graduates. College of Forest Resources. If you like being outdoors, we do sustainable bioproducts, wildlife fisheries and aquaculture, environmental conservation, a lot of opportunities with students in this college. We also have a College of Veterinary Medicine. There are only 34 vet schools in the whole country, and we're one of them. So definitely encourage you to explore those options with us. And we also have the Honors College program if that interests you. As I mentioned earlier, we're located in Starkville, Mississippi. There are a lot of things to do. We have over 450 student organizations across our campus. And then the town of Starkville itself has really embraced the student life, and it welcomes all students on campus and kind of brings them as a part of the community. If you're interested in applying, we do, you can just fill out our general application through Common App, Coalition, or our institutional app. It's a $40 application fee and your high school transcripts. We actually are test optional this year. So if you are still interested in applying, it is not too late because we do practice rolling admissions. A general timeline of things, we can kind of catch up on that when we have more time. I do like to go ahead and put this out here. We are $35,000 per year. That is tuition fees, housing, and meal plan for out-of-state students. So I just want you to be aware of that and know that working with you, being from out of state, I will help you in terms of scholarships. I just wanted to put a few of those on your screen so you could see some of the different opportunities we have there. We do have merit-based awards if you have had the opportunity to test, but in addition to that, the biggest one I like to point out is our veterans waiver. If you're the dependent of a veteran, you actually can receive a full out-of-state tuition scholarship to cover that. So definitely just encourage you to explore all of your options. We are open for visits. We would love to have you on campus. You can do it virtually. You can come to campus, whatever you're comfortable with. And if you need anything else, there's my contact information. And thank you again for joining us this afternoon. I'm going to hand it over to my friend Megan at Ole Miss.
Yep, Ole Miss, it's time for you to come on up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Megan Thomas. I serve as the Assistant Director of Admissions with the University of Mississippi, affectionately known as Ole Miss. We are the second smallest school in the Southeastern Conference, home to just over 22,000 students total across our main campus as well as our regional campuses. But drill that down a little bit, and we are home to around 17,000 undergraduate students. These students are from all over the globe. We have all 50 states represented on our campus, in addition to 90 different countries across the globe. The University of Mississippi is located in Oxford, Mississippi. There is truly no better college town in the country than Oxford. It is the true definition of a small, quintessential Southern college town, home to about 20,000 residents. So when school is in session, Oxford nearly doubles in size, which is incredible. If you are ever in town, please don't miss the downtown square, home to Square Books, one of the country's top independent bookstores, in addition to some of the finest food in the South. Oxford's also located 1 hour southeast of Memphis, Tennessee, so conveniently located to an international airport with shuttles running for students who do need transportation to and from the airport. Additionally, Oxford is ranked as one of the nation's best small towns, in addition to one of the best college towns in the country. On our campus in Oxford, you will find many different opportunities for you. We're truly able to offer our students the best of both worlds with a small campus feel, but all of the resources of a large public research institution. We are a Carnegie R1 research institution, ranked in the top 2.5% of research institutions in the country. We have over 100 programs of study, over 400 student organizations, and we also offer Mississippi's highest graduation and retention rates. We have just recently set a record with our freshman to sophomore retention rate being 86.8%, which is highest in the state, simply meaning our students come to Ole Miss and they love it so much that they stay and graduate with us. Flipping gears just a bit, I do like to highlight our academic programs and offerings that we have on campus. As I mentioned a moment ago, we do offer over 100 different programs of study, and our average classroom size is actually around 34 students. When you look more closely at our campus, at our classes offered on campus, 90% of those classes are going to have 50 students or less in them, meaning only 5% of those classes are going to have 100 or more students. So you're really not going to be in those larger lecture style classes that you typically see on TV and in the movies, which is amazing to have at an SEC institution. Our student to faculty ratio is also 19-1. So going through a bit of our academic programs, we are home to Mississippi's only public pharmacy school, also ranked in the top 25 in the country. Our Patterson School of Accountancy is ranked in the top 10 in the country, and that goes for our bachelor's, master's, and doctoral programs for the past 10 years and running. Our School of Journalism and New Media is home to the country's largest integrated marketing communications program, which combines marketing, communications, and social media, where we also have Ole Miss alums working at TikTok, Facebook, and even The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Our School of Business Administration is ranked in the top 50 in the country. Our School of Education is one of the leading producers of teachers in the state of Mississippi. School of Applied Sciences really focuses on majors that allow our students to be change makers. And the School of Engineering is the oldest engineering school in Mississippi with a 90% placement rate. We also have several pre-professional areas, including pre-dental, pre-medicine, pre-law, etc. We're home to Mississippi's only public law school, in addition to Mississippi's only medical, dental, PT, and OT programs, all located at the state's only academic teaching hospital. In addition to those academic programs, I do want to highlight a few of our special programs that are available to students through competitive entry. This includes the Sally McDonald Barksdale Honors College, the Croft Institute for International Studies, and federally funded Arabic and Chinese language flagship programs. With financial aid at the university, it really is with a three-tiered approach, so scholarships, grants, and loans. We are ranked in the top 50 public universities as a best value institution, so we definitely like our students to come in with some type of financial aid. The total cost of attendance for non-residents averages about $35,000 yearly. That does include tuition, housing, and meals. Also, it's important to note that 50% of our students enter into Ole Miss with some type of financial aid. In addition to that, our merit scholarships start at a 25 on the ACT for non-resident students, and we are super scoring this year for scholarships. This is going to be a few of our next steps, so we definitely would encourage you to complete your admissions application through our institutional application or the Common App, and be sure that you also submit your FAFSA and other necessary documents needed for admission. We would absolutely love to have you come to campus for a visit. We may not win many sports championships, but we win ours in another way, and that's campus beauty. Please give us a call if you would like to come visit campus. Hotty toddy.
Thank you so much, Megan. We're going to move right along to our third presenter with University of Alaska Fairbanks.
Hey there, good to be with you all today. And my name is Palmer Muntz. I'm from University of Alaska Fairbanks, and we're located about 5 hours north of Anchorage and about 200 miles south of the Arctic Circle. And I feel like what I'm doing here today is just inviting you to go on a big adventure, to come on up to Fairbanks, Alaska, where you can do and see and experience some things that you won't get to do anywhere else, including joining the 40 Below Club, the first time each year that it gets to 40 below zero. The students like to celebrate that by going and taking their picture with the temperature sign on campus in their swimsuits. So something you got to try. We have about 100 different majors at UAF. University of Alaska Fairbanks is the flagship university for the state. In fact, we're older than the state of Alaska. And you'll find that we've got a lot of the same majors you would find anywhere else: business, social work, psychology, and so on, as well as some really unusual majors. And then one distinctive thing about UAF that I don't think you'll find at very many national research universities or flagship universities is we actually have a community college embedded within UAF, which means we're able to offer everything from literally a PhD in space physics to 1- and 2-year degree programs in things like welding, aviation maintenance, and culinary arts. And I want to take a couple of minutes to just highlight some of the programs I've seen as being most appealing to students from the lower 48. Engineering being one of them. You can see here the wide range of specialties we have within our engineering program. And one thing I like to highlight is the fact that our program is direct entry. So you'll get to be an engineering major right from the very beginning. You don't have to do a couple of years of prerequisites first. Also, I like to show students our brand new ELIF building, which is, yes, the worst name for a building ever. But the ELIF building houses our College of Engineering and Mines, brand new, 120,000 square feet of state-of-the-art labs and classrooms, just to illustrate that even though you're coming all the way up almost to the Arctic Circle, you're not going to have to sacrifice in terms of resources. A lot of students like to come to UAF for the natural sciences. That includes, of course, things like pre-med and chemistry and physics and so on. But often it's wildlife biology, ocean sciences, fisheries, largely because we're right in the heart of Alaska. We're in the middle of a 600,000 square mile living, learning laboratory. A lot of research opportunities, a lot of internship opportunities that you won't find too many other places. And then I mentioned that community college embedded within UAF. And there I'd like to highlight the fire science program, one of the top fire science programs in the entire country. And the thing that students love about this major is that while they're getting their degree, they actually get to live and work in a fire department. They graduate with not only their degree, but also anywhere from 2 to 4 years of experience, depending on what they decide is their track. And they make money doing that. So it becomes a very economical way to get their degree. We're a very unusual flagship university. We have only around 8,000 students. We feel even a little bit smaller than that. Our student to faculty ratio is just 10 to 1. 2/3 of our classes have less than 20 students in them. So again, the resources of a national research university, but in a much more intimate environment. Let me talk briefly with you about what admission looks like at UAF. And by the way, this is what Valentine's Day looks like in Fairbanks. This is a Valentine's Day picture from a couple of years ago. Very smooth and streamlined admission process. You apply on our website. You don't have to write an essay. There's just a couple of short answer questions. You can upload your own transcripts there. We are test optional for all students who are currently in high school and who have already graduated from high school. And then we work on a rolling admission system. So you'll often get an admission decision within 3 weeks. We offer the Western Undergraduate Exchange to every student from California and Nevada, which means our total cost before financial aid for tuition, fees, and room and board is less than $24,000 a year. And we do have financial aid available. Let me mention in particular our Nanook Pledge, which is our academic scholarship. And this can range, depending on your residency and your GPA and so on, can range up to $10,000 a year. Again, we are test optional, so you don't have to submit SAT or ACT scores. University of Alaska Fairbanks is just a great option for you. If you're a high achiever who maybe doesn't want to go to a large university, can go anywhere but wants a more intimate environment. A great place for students who maybe are looking for a 2-year degree, a vocational degree, but you want a traditional college experience. Also, if you just want to do something different, something where you'll stand out, I often say, if you graduate from University of Alaska Fairbanks, when you go to apply for jobs, you're going to be the most interesting person in the room. So please come on an adventure. Come up to Fairbanks, Alaska, to the University of Alaska Fairbanks. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Palmer. We're going to move right along to the second half of our colleges this evening with Alaska Pacific. Go ahead and take it away, Amy.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Amy Potter with the Alaska Pacific, some of our colleagues at UAF and UAA today. So we'll talk a little bit about what our particular campus looks like. So we saw a map of Alaska. So we do this, and that we're kind of like the center of the state, South Central Alaska. We're located in Anchorage, which again is the largest city that you will see. I think our students get kind of the best of both worlds. Our campus is a very small campus, a little unlike some of the other universities you've heard of today. We have just right around 500 students. So again, we are going to be a small campus, so you get a really tight-knit community, really close connection with your faculty. All of our programs, regardless of what you study, it's focused on project-based learning. So it's about getting you out into the field or out into Alaska, depending on what you might be studying. But we're located in Anchorage. So one of the great connections is, again, that's the central hub for the state. So whether it's large oil companies, Alaska Native corporations, small startup businesses, there's a wide range. And that allows students the ability to really kind of get connected and network to lots of different types of business and industries right here kind of in their backyard. So we have about a 7-to-1 student faculty ratio. Like I said, we have about 500 students on campus. A majority of our students from Alaska, but we have over 31 states and countries represented. We are an Alaska Native American Indian serving institution. And then we'll talk a little bit about financial aid coming up here in a minute, but about 93% of our students receive some sort of financial aid or scholarships to attend. So quickly, just talk a little bit about Alaska. I always joke with students, sometimes we get questions, do you have, roads and stores, and what is it like living in Alaska? So like I said, Anchorage is the largest city in the state. So you'll see it's not uncommon to see moose wandering around campus, out on the trails, a lot of great events, including the Iditarod dog mushing race, which is just getting about ready to wrap up. But the ceremonial starts in Anchorage, and it's not uncommon for our outdoor programs to take the grill out to the trail and right back, right along the trail in their backyard. So this is a little snapshot of some of the different programs. Since we are a little bit smaller, we have kind of a focused set of degrees that we offer. Really popular programs for us, especially with our focus in the outdoors, would be our marine biology, earth and climate science, snow science, outdoor studies. We are located in the UMed district along with our friends at UA. And so health sciences, environmental public health, those are another really strong programs that we have. Out into the community. This might be a marine biology program, and you're going down to Seward and working at the Sea Life Center and doing aquarium diving and actually working with their mammals and animals on site there. Or it could be maybe you're in counseling psychology and you are working downtown at the Covenant House working with homeless youth here in Anchorage. So it's all about making those connections and putting into practice what you're learning. So this is an actual picture from campus from our farmers market. So we have a farm a little bit north of campus. So students in our sustainability program or maybe our outdoor environmental education programs, they'll work with our farm. So I said this is, again, one of our resident moose who's checking out some of our produce. There's lots of different events going on campus. It could be kayak paddleboarding or paddleboard yoga, kayak polo, ice climbing, skiing and snowboarding at our Alaska. So we definitely encourage students to take advantage of being in this wonderful, amazing state. So if you're interested in putting in an application, our application is available online. All we need is a very simple process similar to the University of Alaska system, where we just need your official transcripts, high school or college, if you're taking any dual credit classes. We are test optional, so we're not requiring SAT or ACT tests, and that's not just due to COVID, that's across the board for us. We have a lot of different available options to check out campus, online, virtual tour, or our virtual open houses. If you're coming up for a summer vacation or taking the Inside Passage and coming on a cruise when they open up, feel free to swing by campus. Our financial aid, feel free to take a picture. We've got a lot of different scholarships from $1,500 up to $7,000 for the year. We don't charge in-state, out-of-state tuition. It'll all be the same for us. And we'd love to have you visit. So feel free to shout any questions that you have. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Amy. We are going to move along to our fifth presenter, University of Alaska, Anchorage. Come on up, Tiffany.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for being here today, taking the time on a Sunday, on the time switch day. Very impressive. I'm just going to bring up these slides here. One moment. And so my colleagues gave an excellent introduction to Alaska. Palmer talked a little bit about UAF, and that's a different public university in Alaska. So let's talk about the University of Alaska Anchorage. Is also in Anchorage, and Amy was just talking about Anchorage. So just to give you a little comparison of where we all are to each other. So I am going to give you a little introduction to the city of Anchorage, a little bit more than what Amy discussed. We have approximately 300,000 people in the city. So that does make us the largest city in Alaska, which means that we kind of have this balance of the urban wild. So if you're looking to go to Alaska because you really want to be immersed in nature, you can definitely do that in Anchorage at UAA. Anchorage has over 100 miles of trail dispersed throughout the city. You can do really exciting outdoor activities like berry picking. We have some of the best snowboarding on the West Coast. So it's definitely an exciting city to be in for nature, but also because we're in the largest city, you are not really going to find yourself in the middle of nowhere. You can go see a movie, check out our downtown. The Iditarod actually goes through our downtown. So lots of exciting opportunities there. And as the largest city in Alaska, it's actually faster to fly to Anchorage than it is to drive across the state of California. So it's maybe not as far away as you might be thinking it is. And then the University of Alaska Anchorage specifically on our campus, we have about 12,000 students. So we're a mid-sized institution. And what that means is that we have enough students to make student life really engaging. We have over 100 clubs and different activities. We have sporting events. So we have hockey, that's very popular. Basketball is Division II, so students are really getting their Seawolf spirit on there. And then we balance that student life availability with also having these small class sizes. So we have a 1:16 faculty student ratio. So even though there are a lot of students on campus, that doesn't mean that your class sizes are going to be giant. That means that about half of your classes have less than 20 students. And so we think that it's kind of this balance that really helps us be number one for long-term return on investment amongst our peer institutions. We think that this focus on our rigorous academics is one thing that really makes us stand apart. We really value experiential learning. So if you're the type of learner that wants to be out in the classroom or out of the classroom and into nature, that's something that you can do at UAA. We're a comprehensive institution, so there are a lot of different options. If you are thinking you want to do business, engineering, something in health, you want to do natural sciences, anthropology, economics, psychology, all of those kind of more traditional disciplines are available to you. But we also have a career and technical college where you can study things like air traffic control, or you can study culinary. So definitely some exciting opportunities to really diversify your course offerings at UAA. And also take things in elective courses like dog sledding or ice climbing. And that's just not something that you can do at every institution. So it's something really exciting. We have an estimated cost of attendance here. So even if you're not a California student and you're watching this, it's the Western Undergraduate Exchange tuition is for all of our Western students. So it definitely still applies to you, but I like to show this slide because you can see that you can qualify for significantly lower tuition than even in-state tuition in a lot of cases. So you can actually save money by going to the University of Alaska Anchorage. And so that kind of dispels that myth that it's always more expensive to go out of state for university. We also have some exciting opportunities to get away from campus. So come to campus, enjoy your adventure at UAA, but also enjoy your adventure all over the country or all over the world. So we have some really exciting exchange programs where you could do a semester in Hawaii or Las Vegas or Puerto Rico if you do national student exchange. And then we have a lot of different study abroad options as well. So I hope that that has triggered your interest so you can come and explore just a little bit more and get a good idea of what UAA is all about. We have a lot of exciting virtual events coming up. And so I will drop some links in the chat for you and you can check that out at any time and reach out to me. I look forward to helping y'all become future Seawolves.
Awesome, thank you so much. And we are going to go right along to our final presenter, Soka University of America. Go ahead and take it away, Aaron.
Yes, thank you so much. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here. So yes, rounding out the presentation would be myself. I work in admissions at Soka University of America. We're located in Southern California, a little outside Anchorage. And we're a private nonprofit liberal arts university, about an hour north of San Diego, hour south of LA. So it looks kind of rural, but it's certainly pretty suburban. And I wish I had better photos, but I got a quick presentation here. We're certainly more of a mission-driven university, not a tuition-driven university. We are private, and I'll definitely go over the pricing towards the end. We're really driven by this mission statement of fostering a steady stream of global citizens committed to living a contributive life. That's really sort of everything that we aim to do with our students, is to get them to somehow live out this this statement in their lives in whatever field of study or career field they choose in the future. For us, a global citizen is really having these three key attributes. Your education here at SUA is really going to be an education for yourself and who you are in this world and who you really want to be in every aspect of life, and certainly your career field. Probably the most important is certainly having that compassion and that imaginative empathy to really kind of see outside yourself and give back to others in a community, be it global, local, or otherwise. We are small as well, so under 500 students, right around 450 or so. 40% of our students are international, coming from outside the US, and the rest kind of different pockets of the metropolitan areas in the States. We are a residential campus. We have res life buildings out there in the back. Fully accredited, we have 5 concentrations, a study abroad requirement. So all of our students will go abroad. They did in this fall, but I can kind of expand on that in the next slide. A 7-to-1 student to faculty ratio, average class size of 12. We have NAIA athletics and merit as well as need-based aid. Pretty solid rankings here and there. I think ethnic diversity is certainly pretty high given our size. We really do recruit really well globally. And it's again to really sort of build up towards that mission statement that we're so, really driven by. The concentrations you can see here, there's 5. The biggest, I think maybe the shiniest new toy of ours would be the life sciences. We're really excited to be able to provide a pre-health track for students in this smaller, intimate classroom setting and dynamic. The study abroad component is kind of falls under your general education requirement. Everything else is here would feel kind of like a major, but our concentrations are designed to provide more of a breadth of knowledge as well as depth in what you choose to study. The language and culture program, again, being that it's required, it's going to be included in your cost of tuition, so you won't have to come up with extra funds to make this trip happen. Typically anywhere between 4 to 6 months long. You could be studying in a country that speaks your respective target language. We offer Spanish, French, Japanese, and Chinese. You would spend time over there either living with a host family, an apartment, or having like your own sort of like dorm style living, depending on the university you choose. And everything that you do day-to-day classes, it's all in that target language. So it really is a fully immersive environment that really makes you, again, kind of push you to be more of a global minded individual and see yourself as more of this citizen of the world. Res Life, pretty standard stuff there. We have our first year students share a double. Beyond that, you can have like a split suite, and then our 4th year students can elect to live completely on their own. There is no change in price. Your meal plan is built into your cost of room and board there. A lot of great services for you to take advantage of as well that I won't dwell on, but really great student life as you would have at any other small private university or just small university in general. A lot of great things to kind of get you outside of your comfort zone and build yourself up beyond who you are as an academic and a scholar. Great student athlete life as well. Really top-notch facilities that I could certainly expand on if anyone's really interested, but this is just kind of a cool overhead shot of what we have to offer in, again, Southern California. Pretty neat. For us, tuition, $32,250, room and board, $13,032. We do offer really, I think, competitive financial aid packages for our students. Our most, I think, prominent mode of providing opportunity would be our Soka Opportunity Grant that looks at a student's family's earned income. If a student's family makes $60,000 or less, tuition is actually free for that family, which is pretty nice. And then beyond that, we have our merit as well as athletic scholarships, and then respective, loans and federal and state funding for students that qualify. Early action for us, November 1st, regular decision is going to be January 15th. We are on the Common App. Application fees, $30, and then everything else is pretty straightforward. You would have to write an essay for us. We're kind of big on those just because we're trying to really find the right fit, in terms of student. There is no GPA requirement in terms of like cutoffs or anything, or test scores. So we're certainly test optional as well, and we foresee ourselves being that as we move forward through, next year. Sweet 540. So that's what I have for you there. If you want to see more, certainly check us out on social media, or I can drop my email in the chat later on, and I'd be more than happy to help you out with your application. Thanks so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Really appreciate that here. Now, I'm going to actually ask all of our presenters to turn their videos on because I have a question for everyone, and we'll go in the same order in which you presented. So the question I'm asking you all here is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And first on our list is Mississippi State.
Okay, well, that's no pressure at all. No, I'm just kidding. And being that we work in this field, one of the biggest things I try to help students in navigating this process is, one, it's kind of twofold. One, get your feet on the campus. It's really a great opportunity to submerge yourself in the culture there, and knowing if it's a good fit for you. And then second, when I say fit, I don't believe that there is a right or a wrong decision throughout this process. I do believe that there is a best choice. Like, I don't think there's, like, oh, this is the right decision, or, oh, that was the wrong decision. I think it's like just the best decision, what's best suited for you and kind of your career aspirations, but also personally as well.
Beautiful. And Ole Miss, what do you have to add?
Yeah, so I definitely want to echo Grant. Definitely go and visit the college and our colleges that you're considering and just see how you like them. But when you are going on those visits, don't just visit the college campus. I think it's also really important for you to visit the college town or the city that that institution is located in, because you will not just be on that college campus for 4 years. You will also be a citizen and resident of that city. So definitely make sure that you love it almost just as much as the institution itself.
Thank you for that. University of Alaska Fairbanks. Palmer, what do you have to say?
So if I only get to tell you one thing, I think it would be get to know your admissions counselor at each of the colleges that you're considering. We get paid to help you. We enjoy helping you. I think it's really important for you to realize too that we're on your side. We want you to be successful. And so, for instance, at UAF, we have an admissions counselor named Andrew Luft, who's actually based in Southern California, specifically to work with students in the Southwest.
Awesome. Our Alaska Pacific University.
All right. One thing that I would say, all of schools that from the college, things are a little bit different. It's really easy to get overwhelmed very quickly. Say, take it one step at a time. Sometimes, make a checklist and don't worry about having everything finished all at the same time, because it'll get pretty overwhelming pretty quick. And so same as like Palmer said, be in touch with the admissions counselor, find a way to take little bits of chunks at a time so that you can make it more manageable and know, what's kind of the immediate deadlines that you need to focus on. What's the immediate thing that you need to do? So that would be my advice.
Perfect. University of Alaska Anchorage, Tiffany.
My advice is to follow your passion. So I think university is an excellent time to learn about yourself and take that time to do that. So if you look for your passion, you'll probably find the university that's going to be your best fit.
Beautiful. And let's close it out with Soka.
Yeah, I really like what Amy was sharing. Narrowing your list, I think, is crucial. We don't want to cast too big of a net. And yeah, just keeping in mind those deadlines. I mean, the beauty of just this panel here, you have certain folks that are utilizing a rolling admission, so that kind of gives you a lot more flexibility in that regard. Whereas like someone like Soka, we're pretty kind of tough in terms of our deadline, and so I always let our students know, hey, if you can, finish us first, and then go take care of everybody else, because I can't really bend the rules as much in my area. And so just keeping that top of the mind and making sure that you prioritize, I think, is a really key component of certainly applying your first time.
Beautiful. Well, thank you all so much. I want to go ahead and just thank everyone for joining us, all of our amazing panelists, telling us all about your awesome schools. So grateful to have you here. Thank you all for those people who did attend live. We are grateful that you were here. And anyone watching the recording, thank you for following up. Once you close this window, there will be a 4-question short survey. We at StriveScan would love any feedback that you're willing to provide to us. Also, this is just one of many sessions, so feel free to always look for more. And in about 1 week, you will be able to watch this recording. Go ahead and find it at strivescan.com/WACAC. I'm going to close this out here, and you all have a wonderful evening.